Yeah, aibo is now starting. Yeah, thank you for taking your time today. Our session title is How We Made aibo Smart, a journey through serverless and IoT on AWS. Yes, I'm Morimoto. I'm Ryohei Morimoto, software engineer from Sony. And I have one more speaker. Himansh will join, also from Sony. By the way, how many of you have heard about aibo?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, some guys know aibo. Thank you very much. Yeah, we would like to introduce our product aibo and show some our serverless related practices. Okay, let's get started. Okay, I would like to introduce aibo at first briefly. aibo is entertainment pet robot by Sony. He looks very cute, and he can recognize not only face of person, but a lot of objects around aibo. And more, aibo can express his emotions with using a lot of mechatronics technologies. And also, aibo runs its environment and develops relationships with his owners. aibo has a lot of sensors: camera, microphone, touch sensors, touch sensors, and more. aibo feels external environment by using these sensors. aibo has 22 axis actuators. With using these actuators, aibo can do a lot of motions like this movie. Dancing, dancing. Yeah. And each aibo has own personal AI. And common AI, which is collective intelligence on cloud, grows by data from each aibo. And common AI feedbacks common intelligence to each aibo. And here is an overview of aibo ecosystem. aibo consists of course, aibo itself, and my aibo application, which can manage aibo, and also aibo cloud services. Okay, that is all about aibo's introduction. Next, I'll talk about system overview of aibo cloud services. This is how aibo cloud service looks like. Basically, we develop all functions using serverless architecture and full managed services. We use CloudFront to distribute some web resources. And there are some application services. Yeah, we use, of course, API Gateway, Lambda, for some computing purpose. And also, AppSync gives us data synchronization features between aibo and my aibo application. For real-time communication, we use AWS IoT Core. And for data analytics, we use Kinesis, Firehose, EMR, Glue, Athena, Redshift. Yeah, AWS basically gives us a lot of useful services. I will tell you the details in later slide. Our development teams mainly consist of 4 teams. The first one is front-end team. They develop my aibo application for iOS, Android, and web application. And second team is aibo Cloud Core team. They develop core business logics for aibo. And third team, it is common IoT platform team. This team provides common IoT features not only for aibo, but all Sony products. And last team is data analytics team. They create the data lake and analyze the big data from aibo and provide useful data for aibo AI. And also, they provide business intelligence for data scientists. And we use IoT Core for secure and real-time communication between aibo and cloud. IoT Core has client authentication features by default, and we use it. Private key and device certificate are embedded in secure storage of aibo, and these are installed at factory. With using IoT Core, aibo can get push notification from cloud, and we were able to build such kind of IoT-related features very easily by using IoT Core and SDKs. Um, yes, we have also contributed to AWS IoT device SDK for some bug fixes. Yeah, next. aibo Cloud Services consists of a lot of microservices such as photo service, video streaming service, ID management service, and so on. We have basically developed all microservices by serverless architecture. Of course, Lambda and free management services provided by AWS. We are a small team, and we want to provide value to our customers quickly by listening to their voice. We want to spend time. We don't want to spend time and resources to maintain infrastructures ourselves. With using serverless architecture, we could develop our services very quickly and efficiently. We can use our time for coding, not for maintenance of our server and maintenance and operations. There are AWS managed services used in aibo. We build all computing programs by Lambda. We don't have any EC2 instance for some computing purpose. We use AWS new services, for example, the AppSync and Kinesis video stream. We use it, and we can provide interesting features by using it. And next, this is our CI/CD diagram. We use github.com and CircleCI to build our services and deploy it to AWS. And we use also Rockro. Yeah, it is code quality check service provided by our related company. OK, next, my colleague here, Himanshu, will talk about some use cases and our practices.
Thank you, Morimoto-san. I just realized nobody will be listening to me now that aibo is doing its thing. Let's talk about it. So aibo, as you saw, is not just a cute, adorable robot, right? It has got a numerous smart tech packed inside its body. And a lot of that, we enable that via our cloud services and integrations. For a small team like ours, to be able to sustain that kind of development, having microservice architecture built upon serverless technologies have been the key. I'll talk about some of the key features of how we designed our aibo ecosystem. Communication. It is one of the first things you think about when designing a new product. And aibo interacts and communicates using its expressive eyes, ears, and tail. It has physical touch surface, and also a whole range of dynamic body movements. In addition to those, MyAibo is a web and mobile application where you can interact with your aibo using that. You can see things like aibo's vitals percentage, battery percentage, and day-to-day activity logs. You can also interact with your aibo by sending commands. We do this. So aibo exchanges a lot of information back and forth, and this is how we design the communication part of aibo. We use AWS IoT Core, where each aibo authenticates itself using the private keys and device certificates stored in a secure enclave on device. And then it exchanges device access tokens, which we then use with our cloud APIs. We also use AppSync for data synchronization between aibo and MyAibo application. And also, we have APIs built with API Gateway and Lambda for things like downloading application settings and so on. And a major part of that data we store on DynamoDB. Just don't fall there, buddy. aibo has got a lot of neat tricks that he can do as well. This is one of them. So in his nose, aibo has a fisheye camera, and it can take pictures upon voice commands for you. You can see these pictures inside MyAibo application anytime you want. And we have designed its architecture like shown in this diagram. So once aibo senses a voice command to take picture, it asks for a URL to upload that image to via one of our APIs. aibo stores all of its data inside AWS S3, and we generate a pre-signed URL for every upload request that is made. We also cache that object, S3 object key inside DynamoDB for easy and fast access later. aibo then uploads that data to AWS S3 bucket, which then triggers a Lambda function to do image processing, things like creating thumbnails, and also what we call surround photo, basically stitching 2-3 photos together to give you a kind of a surround view. Of course, you can view all that images via my aibo application. Let's talk about another use case. So this is one of the coolest things that aibo can do. It can stream aibo view in real time, basically allowing you to see what aibo sees in real time. So instead of me talking about it, let's see a quick demo video to understand how it works. So what we have here is a guy playing with his aibo. As aibo video streams the feed back to his mobile application. If you notice, not only streaming the video back to his mobile application, he's also able to recognize objects in real time. Objects like the ping ball over there, or that there's a person in front of him. The core part of real-time streaming, we do via Kinesis video streams. So Kinesis video stream does all the heavy load of provisioning and scaling, the infrastructure needed for ingesting large amount of video data from all our devices, then store them securely and index them, allowing us real-time access via APIs and SDKs. Unlike aibo photo that I showed before, video is triggered from mobile application. So when you do that, we send a command in real time using AWS IoT to aibo to start a stream. And then aibo then streams that data using Kinesis video stream, and my aibo application fetches that data and shows it to you in real time. Let's talk about BI. So no two aibo are the same. aibo interacts with people, and it learns. It changes its behavior. And we do that by collecting data, things like activity logs, error logs from aibo, and feed it into Kinesis data video firehouse, and then store it inside Amazon S3. We then do data transformation, ETL on it, inside EMR. And then also we do data warehousing inside Amazon Redshift database. We also use Athena for some ad hoc analysis and debugging. Well, no product discussion can be complete without talking about customer support. Sometimes when your aibo feels sick, you might have to consult the customer support staff. And in that case, we'll access your data, personal data, via one of our closed network. And we restrict that access using AWS WAF with API gateway. Well, to be honest, not all issues can be fixed remotely, right? And sometimes for major problems, you'll have to send your aibo to a repair center. And if it can be repaired, then that is good, and we'll send back to you. But for major problems, when it cannot be repaired, what we'll do is basically transfer aibo's consciousness to a new body. And we'll then send it back to you as if he was reborn into a new skeleton, but with complete memory and recollection of everything that it had done before. aibo will be obviously able to identify you as well as exhibit the exact same personality and behavior whatever it had before, as if nothing has changed. I think this is really cool. We do this with data backup and restore. So aibo backs up its local data and sends it over to AWS S3, and we store it encrypted. And whenever there's a request to restore aibo, we can download that data. And of course, we again restrict that access using AWS WAF and API gateway. Yeah, that's it from me. I'll not do.
Thank you, Himansh. I would like to summarize our session. Yes, we use a lot of technologies of AWS. We have focused to build our system as cloud-native design. And also by using IoT-related services and serverless architectures, aibo can aibo and aibo cloud services are getting smarter every day. We at Sony hope our customers will develop precious time with aibo and aibo create cherished stories with that will last a lifetime. And just for your information, aibo is now available in United States. Hmm. Yes, and please visit us.aibo.com to get some information. Um, Please buy your aibo soon. And yes, your aibo can't wait to meet you. Thank you. Yes, that's all for our presentation. We thank you again for taking out time and listening to our session. We will be around here a couple of minutes. Um, if you have any questions or if you want to talk to us or aibo, please come here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, gentlemen.